Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. I was cutting it fine there. Hello everybody. How you all doing? I do hope you're well. I'm Loxley, Satyr of Strategy, the Caprian Card Shark, the board game goat. Kale, Plantix, how are you both doing? I hope you're doing fantastically this lovely Thursday evening. I'll be honest, I'm having a lovely day. It's kind of today was kind of like the first, like worryingly for like mid-May, it felt like the first day of like proper spring. In that I was able to like go cycling and it was just like nice sun on my back. Yeah, that was nice. Also gym. So yes, feeling strong, feeling good, feeling strong. Though I think I need to start doing more to boost my core strength, because like I find that my weakest thing at the moment is my deadlifts. It feels sore, which I think is just down to not having good good core strength support. But that's unrelated to today. You're a bit sad because your board game got some delivery issues and you're gonna have to wait a month more to get it. Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. That's a real shame. Also, hey SJ, thank you for swinging by. Hope you're doing well. What board game are you waiting to? At least this week's of exams is for me is ending soon. I'm really glad for that. Like, though I'll be honest, it feels like anytime you're in my stream, it is very much like only a little bit more of the exams. It's like you have been a student for the last millennium. I have no idea what is going on with you, small child. Or you've just been hanging out in my chat for a year and it's gone through. That's the thing that has jumped out most. Fever finally broke, so a little better. Oh, buddy, I'm really sorry. I really hope you're feeling better. Everyone's just having a bit of a tough time recently, from the sounds of it. The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls. Oh, the delivery service fucked up the address. Hate it when that happens. That is real. Plantix is in Sisyphean exam hell. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're on the mend, and I'm glad that you will be getting through your exams. And Kale, I know you've done nothing productive, but honestly, like as somebody who knows you, that may be for the best. Cause holy shit, buddy. You need to sometimes not. You sometimes need to chill the fuck out. You're definitely not. Like, one, you're watching a VTuber, one of your close friends is a VTuber. You're definitely not normal. But also, like, productivity is a lie. Embrace lethargy. Absolutely. Yeah, I am, yeah. When was the last time you took vacation not to recover from some form of illness, Kale? One must imagine Sisyphus as happy. Listen. Go on, Navi. What are you going for? As we load in the game. In your mid-20s, you visit a friend in the States. Does that count? Yes, but that's also a fucking decade ago. I last took a day off for, like, just my own personal thing, like, a couple of months back. It was, like, 3 days. What's Disco Elysium about, by the way? Oh, Plantix. Oh, Plantix, you have chosen a time to come back. Heard good things, never looked into it. I highly recommend it. So, how do I explain Disco Elysium? So, our character, whose name I'm not going to tell you, woke up having drunk himself so far into oblivion, he utterly forgot every single thing about himself, including every concept of reality that he lives in. So everything kind of builds from there. Disco Elysium, normal man has normal thoughts, which are extremely normal. Yeah, you will then start like talking to your Thai. I will say, like, this game is fascinating. We're kind of towards the end, so honestly, if you were to start. Oh yeah, the downside is that you immediately discover you're a fucking cop here to solve a murder investigation. So you're trying to work out the mystery of who the fuck you are, and also try and work. Yeah, who the fuck you are, and what the fuck and what the fuck is going on with the murder. In a town where everything. Check my DMs. Yeah, I did see the. Thank you very much for the game. You're gonna have to let me know what game it was, because for some reason it didn't tell me what game I installed on my system. So please let me know what game you actually sent me. That would be really helpful. But yeah, absolutely understandable. You're gonna head out. Like I would definitely recommend checking this out. Ring of Pain. Oh, that's very. No, I do remember Ring of Pain. I actually, that's incredibly generous of you. Yeah, I know that's actually on. That was actually on the list. It's one of the things. But yeah, I highly would recommend heading out now, because yeah, we are going to start doing stuff, and it's going to be spoilers. And honestly, I have highly appreciated going into this game with as little knowledge as possible. Like, if this is a game you're interested in and you've thought about, it's like, yeah, go check it out. It's real good. Highly recommend it. But yeah, like, this is definitely like forbidden territory, because holy shit, everything is about to be spoiled. Anyway, we have about 4.5 hours until we can go and try and get my gun. Everyone in this game is terrible except for the people who aren't, and they're the best and most tragic figures imaginable. It's absolutely true. It's just wonderful. It's like, I love the characters. Genuinely, like, I mean, I say that, okay. I don't love all the characters, but like, I understand the motivations of all the characters, and the characters I genuinely hate, I'm pretty sure the game wants me to hate them. Like, the game is very much set out the parameters of how it wants me to think about every character without kind of railroading me into thinking about it. Like, Joyce Messier, I think she's a bit of a mess. Took a quick break from solving a murder to tell a new widow she's a widow. Normal Friday. Yeah, that was a time. Eesh, honestly, that was probably some of the best written dialogue I've ever heard, but also deeply, deeply harrowing. Um, Holy shit. Let's read some communist theory. A brief look at inframaterialism. A concise introduction to inframaterialist theory intended for a general audience. You can tell this political copy has spent a lot of time in someone's back pocket.
The cover of this pocket-sized volume features a swirl of orange, yellow, and green. The title, A Brief Look at Inframaterialism, is set in an authoritative yet approachable serif font.
So, for those who want a quick refresher, Excuses Kim whips out the Communist Manifesto. The Communisto Manifesto. You've gone too far down the Italian rabbit hole we were on yesterday, Kale. Comic Sans or nothing. I genuinely want to buy a copy of the Communist Manifesto graphic novel. Because I just think that's a very cool presentation of the thing. Of material. Comunisto Manifesto by Carlo Maxo. Hey, mamma mia. Anyway, if you don't remember what inframaterialism is, I believe, from what we discussed with the communists yesterday in-game, inframaterialism is the concept of, that's a spicy class war. You have nothing to lose but your chains. Wahoo! Played by Clevin Klein, which Engels played by... with Engels played by maybe Keanu Reeves. Okay, I need to give context for that. So Kale is understandably a huge fan of the 1996 1993... Wait, no. No, 1990... Yeah, 1993, 1990-something, mid-90s Super Mario movie. And they was showing me yesterday a list of all the variety. Sorry, I'm going to go into just chatting for a second because, yeah, I don't know, like, not a criticism. Like, the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993, absolutely fascinating. You know, very much. I've got it on Tumblr. It's fine. I've got it on in Discord. I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to read it. But yeah, the original casting options. So obviously we got the marvelous Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, but we could have had any of the following as Mario. So they were considering Michael Keaton, Kevin Kline, John Turturro, Nicolas Cage, Bruno Kirby, who I don't know, and then you had some of those like doubled up for as possible Luigi's as well. Like Kevin Kline and John Turturro were both considered for Luigi as well as for Mario, um, and they kind of matched them up. So like Turturro and Kline would be matched with Bob Hoskins, and it is a weird selection. Like Michael Keaton as Mario, they were thinking of pairing with Tom Hanks or Matthew Broderick for Luigi. John Turturro, we were thinking of pairing with Christian Slater or John Leguizamo, or possibly Keanu Reeves. So yeah, we did miss the timeline where we had Keanu Reeves fresh from the success of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, ready to play Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers movie opposite John Turturro. Just fascinating. John Turturro also considered for Luigi opposite Nicolas Cage. And yeah, at one point, Yoshi should have been Keanu. No, I absolutely. I was about to say, like, Kale hadn't noticed the phrase possibly Keanu Reeves. It's just off to the right. It's surreal. And I pointed that out, and I have never, like, the sound Kale made was not truly human. It was just, like, there was just a collapse on the other end of the voice message as they wheezed to death. Sorry, but completely messed that up. As Kale completely lost their mind. Utterly surreal. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I could hear. It was ridiculous. But yeah, post your dream casting for the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie. I honestly thought John Turturro would work, but then I realized I was mistaking John Turturro for Stanley Tucci, and realized that actually Stanley Tucci I think would work quite well, but he was never considered. Anyway, should we play Disco Elysium? Let's read about communism. And also, sorry for this diversion. This is no diversion. This was absolutely something I needed to share. Thank you for bringing it back up. Anyway, God, who would your fan? Let's go back to our own Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo in Harry and Kim. And yeah, inframaterialism. If I remember correctly, inframaterialism is one in which there is it suggests that fundamentally revolutionary communism results in better outcomes by like inherent concept rather than because workers are happy or better supported. It's literally the crops grow better if they're in revolutionary fields, which, no. Anyway.
What an interesting color palette. It's vibrant, yet somehow leaves you ever so slightly nauseated. No. These are terrible colors. They're like...
Orange, yellow, and green. Yeah, they are. That is a weird collection of colors.
apricots.
Oh, God.
On the inside jacket flap, you find a brief summary. What is inframaterialism? A highly theoretical branch of Masovian communism, a collection of mystical ramblings by a discredited revolutionary, or possibly both.
Possibly both. Love that as the option.
This brief look TM introduces readers to one of this century's most fascinating and misunderstood theories in a concise, jargon-free manner.
Set the timer for how long before we have to deal with jargon. So far, so good. Okay, sure.
You turn to the table of contents. The guide itself is divided into several sections with seemingly esoteric titles like Effects of Plasm on Root Vegetables.
There you go.
And Mental Projection and Transference. There's
What?
also a brief introduction about the life of Ignis Nielsen.
So this is communism as interpreted by Scientology.
Known to his numerous admirers as the evangelist of the revolution, and to his even more numerous enemies as the apocalyptic Shrike.
What the fuck?
Ignis Nielsen remains one of the most controversial and fascinating figures to emerge in the years of the anti-centennial revolution, second only to Krasmazov himself.
I need to become the lead singer of a metal band called Apocalyptic Shrike. Your revolutionary strand will make you stronger and make shit grow better. Yeah, basically.
During his unparalleled life, he helped guide a revolution in one country and found a new state in another. Along the way, he committed some of the most notorious war crimes in an era famed for its atrocities.
Oh, okay, so he's kind of like the, oh god, like the guy who Lenin shot. Why are all these people war criminals? I'll be honest, history? It's an allegorical history taking from our world, and I'll be honest, a lot of the big, like, the Innocents was just, like, straight up a colonialist with possible magic powers, I guess. So that's a war crime. This feels like confirmation bias and the placebo effect. I mean, this guy was also part of, like, a communist revolution, and a violent one at that. Like, unfortunately, they seem to be, you know, yes, I am talking about Trotsky. This, I don't think this is like they're actively paralleling the beliefs, but this does seem to be like taking cues from like the second guy in various communist revolutions. Like there's a hint of Che Guevara in here as well, because like guide a revolution in one country, found a new state in another, which is, you know, it's he left Cuba and went on to support guerrilla fighters in other Latin American countries. So yeah, it's kind of like I'm getting vibes of like, you know, he's the second guy who didn't get his name, who wasn't like the adopted as the leader. Trotsky on ice pick.
And yet, his most fascinating contribution to history may be the most overlooked. His theory of ideological plasm, from which his followers and successors developed the school of communism known as inframaterialism.
Which is just absolute nonsense.
If you're like most people, you probably believe that your thoughts reside in your brain, right?
Okay, this is a start.
That's not right at all. Thoughts don't exist in the brain. They float through the air. Your brain is but a fish swimming through them.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea where some of these thoughts come from.
This sounds more like a question for a psychiatrist. See also a brief look at psychiatry. But let's stick with Ignis Nielsen a moment. As Mazov's devoted comrade and leading theoretician, Nielsen was responsible for developing much of the intellectual foundation of communism. But his interests and speculations were famously wide-ranging.
Okay.
During his final years in exile, he produced, among other things, an early guide to home brewing, instructions for raising revolutionary children, plans for a universal pictographic language, and a detailed materialist critique of Dolores Day's chess strategy.
Okay, so bit of an eccentric.
A true man of ideas, equal to any of the great DeLorean polymaths. But one subject he returned to time and time again was the fundamental relationship between thoughts and matter. We may yet discover, he wrote in his notebooks, that under certain exceptional circumstances, the proletariat's embrace of historical materialism may be so fervent that their beliefs take form in the world of matter as a kind of revolutionary plasm.
Wait, hang on. Hang on. This is 40k. This is Warhammer. Like, sorry, this is actually this is the orcs from Warhammer. I don't know if this is directly what they're referencing, but the orcs in Warhammer are like mushroom people, and their whole thing is they are lightly attuned to magic space to the extent that if they believe things, it becomes they warp reality. Like, one of their key tenets is red ones go faster, and if you actually put it to the test, red orc vehicles do go faster because orcs are warping reality. Exactly. Yes, that's what this is. This is warp. This is reality warping through belief.
Stay with us a moment longer.
Oh god.
What's more, Nielsen speculated that this plasm, when it becomes powerful enough, might begin to influence the material reality surrounding it. Hence the name, inframaterialism. Unfortunately, Nielsen passed away before he was able to develop these initial ideas into a full-fledged theory. That work was left to subsequent generations of communist theorists. Building on Nielsen's basic insight, these theorists reached a startling conclusion that a sufficiently revolutionary state might begin to exhibit certain extra-physical effects based on the amount of plasm generated by its citizens.
Wait, hang on. So this isn't even Nielsen's theory, it's his followers?
Correct, though certain particulars of the theory are commonly attributed to Nielsen himself. The evidentiary basis of those attributions has always been a point of contention between inframaterialists and their critics.
L. Ron Hubbard-ass guy. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, basically they're saying if people believe in communism, it will come true. And then there's the orc that went back in time, killed himself so he had 2 copies of his favorite weapon, and didn't create a paradox because he couldn't understand the paradox. Yep, that's pretty fair. Do you know what? I to my delight, I've been reading some 40k fiction recently, and I have learned that they did an audiobook based on, or I mean, it may have also been a written book as well, but I mostly listen to audiobooks for my literature. Yeah, they did an orc book, which is entirely written in first person as the orc. It's like the orgasm energy closet nerd. What? I just came out of that to stream. What are you talking about? So these people are just saying if they believe people.
The theory is highly technical, but for the purposes of this brief look, TM, that's a fine working definition of the concept. That's because this is absolute idiocy.
Yes.
Not even worth engaging with.
Agreed.
No. There's something here. You can feel it.
I mean, I think all rich European guys are kind of weirdos. You know what? Actually, I'm pretty much just happy to let that just be out there as a statement. Yeah, like no qualification. Like, really, Wilhelm Reich was a weirdo. I mean, I believe he was one of many. This weirdo was lifelong friends with Freud. Well, of course he was. Freud was also a lifelong weirdo.
Inframaterialists divide the extraphysical effects of the revolutionary state by the level of plasm required to achieve them. At the lowest, or first level, revolutionary plasm is believed to stimulate or invigorate matter without altering its essential properties.
Oh, this sounds like the business with the turnips.
Precisely. though plasm does more than increase vegetable yields. It may also influence the physiology of revolutionaries themselves.
Become a revolutionary. You too can look like that guy on the poster.
It's also been postulated that plasm may account for the remarkably full and manly facial hair observed on some communist males.
Right.
Of course, inframaterialists argue that revolutionary plasm may stimulate human physiology in other ways as well.
You too can be the man of tomorrow. Become Superman.
Oh yeah, we're talking about white-hot communist sex, baby.
Electrochemistry, you are one of my least favorite characters in the game.
That's correct. Reports from the revolutionary period claim that the most radically devoted communards were able to engage in vigorous intercourse for up to 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, I was about to say this is tantric. We've gone into tantric sex by way of communism.
8 hours? There's no way. Your equipment would be mashed to jelly.
Impossible failure.
Hyperproductive vegetables and ultra-horny communards are fine, but this theory hasn't quite gotten strange enough for you. And on that note, you feel like you've gotten the general idea of inframaterialism, enough to carry on a basic conversation at least. But if you'd like to go even deeper into some of the more speculative aspects of the theory, you could always read further.
Wait, that isn't the speculative aspect of the theory? No, okay, no.
Of course you want to go deeper.
Of course I do.
What else are you here for?
I'm basically just killing time until I can get my gun back.
The book fits quite snugly into your palm. It would also fit comfortably into a jacket pocket.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak and spongy.
You flip forward a few pages until you come upon a chapter titled Mental Projection and Transference.
Okay, so now we're just straight into some Professor X shit.
When a community has achieved a sufficiently high degree of revolutionary fervor, inframaterialists believe that second-level effects may be observed.
Wait, this might actually be going beyond Professor X. This might be like Eternal's Unimind shit.
At this second level, certain hyper-revolutionary individuals may even develop the ability to extend their thoughts into material space and vice versa.
Wait, why do these effects only work for hyper-revolutionary communists?
Because plasm has never been directly observed, the exact mechanism behind these effects remains entirely speculative.
Right.
Why are you getting hung up on mechanisms? Open your mind's aperture just a little wider. You're so close to true understanding.
As a wise man once said, if you open your mind too much, your brain will fall out.
This should be more than enough for a stimulating discussion. That said, if you're still yearning for more, you must. Everyone knows books save their best parts for the end. You breeze through the next several sections until you arrive at the final chapter, titled A Communism Above Reality.
The Republic of Heaven.
When a society's revolutionary fervor reaches the third and highest level, inframaterialist theoreticians have postulated that the laws of physics cease to be laws.
Of course! They are now mere suggestions. Walk back in time. Jog against gravity.
More like suggestions.
What the fuck?
The SRV's leading inframaterialists. Of course, it's impossible to say what exactly happens under these conditions. No known society has ever achieved the levels of revolutionary enthusiasm the theory seems to require.
Yep, this is what 35 communism does to a person. I have officially transcended. I'm achieving ultra-communism. I can now see through time.
Some inframaterialists have even argued that it might require more plasm than humanity alone may be capable of producing.
Okay, what are the non-human sources of plasm? Bees?
In the SRV, there have been attempts to organize certain species of aquatic mammals, as well as a few of the higher corvids. But, as of this writing, only human beings have demonstrated the intellectual capacity for revolutionary communism.
Is this aliens now? I mean, to be fair, aliens now, like, they're given the whole thing with the innocence, like, there's already like in suggestions of aliens. Chromian chromunists. God, that's hard to say. Chromunists.
There are numerous stories from Samara involving bandits or fascist mercenaries being levitated by farmers from the most ideologically advanced communes. Of course, few of these incidents have ever been rigorously investigated or substantiated.
I'll be honest, if this was a thing, if this game had truly had the ability to script every interaction, in a just world, I would be able to convince Lena and Morel to become communist on the strength of this theory. Incidents have been numerous stories, few incidents rigorously investigated or substantiated.
The form of these stories also recalls several well-known Samaran folk tales, in particular the one commonly known as Clever Oleg and the Flying Magistrate.
It sounds better in the original language.
Among known attempts to channel third-level capabilities, the most well-documented is the curious case of Coalition warship Debutante.
Okay, tell me.
It concerns an interesting series of events that took place during the invasion of Revachol.
Mm-hmm.
As Coalition forces made landfall, a cadre of Nielsen's most fervent acolytes attempted to compress a Coalition-era static with their collective will.
Yeah? How'd that go for them?
According to Communard law, these acolytes positioned themselves at the top of a redoubt just over the bay of Revachol. From that vantage, they proceeded to visualize pinching Coalition warship Debutante.
You're fucking kidding me.
A gesture believed to assist in the extra-physical materialization of their thoughts.
Like, the visual thing where you pretend to squish something. Yeah, it's exactly that. It's the visual effect of, like, trying to squeeze somebody's head. Is this that one Kids in the Hall skit? Maybe.
The Communards were notoriously under-equipped against the much better-funded Coalition. In any event, it's doubtful even ceramic armor would have altered the outcome. The acolytes, along with the redoubt, were vaporized in an artillery strike before the process could be completed.
Oh, so it's just it's still theoretical because they couldn't finish at the correctly.
It's been said, though, that in the weeks following the battle, the captain of the Debutante noted an increase in incidents of crewmen striking their heads on unexpectedly low bulkheads.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Of course, colorful anecdotes only scratch the surface of what inframaterialists believe may be possible in a truly third-level society.
Okay, what would it look like?
Some have theorized that such a society would be fundamentally unrecognizable, lacking many of the institutions we typically take for granted in advanced societies, including organized governments, financial institutions, and law enforcement.
I mean, isn't that just like basic communist theory anyway?
Did that book just say there's no place for you in this future?
I mean, positive, honestly.
Others have argued that people living under third-level conditions will be immune to such infirmities as hunger, disease, and mental illness.
Ah, yes, that is truly... Okay. So that's just, like anti-poverty and kind of ableist.
In some of his later writings, Nielsen himself speculated about the potential for an extra-physical architecture that disregards the laws of bourgeois physics and instead relies on the revolutionary faith of the people for structural integrity.
That's how the Leaning Tower of Pisa was built. Like somebody on like one side was like, "Oh, a bit of a doubt, bit unsure today." Over it goes.
Precisely. Nielsen observed that the financial system operates on the same principle of faith. So why not an architectural system?
Cutting, biting commentary. I get the feeling. So what I'm taking from this is Nielsen probably had like a bit of a rhetoric device where he made that argument and people took it at face value. That's what I take from this.
On the following page, you come across a few black and white reproductions from Nielsen's own notebooks. One sketch depicts a government ministry shaped like a great inverted pyramid, a hectare in width at the top, balanced atop foundations the size of common apartments.
Why was he sketching out a government ministry? The economy is supported by the acceptance of its value. Yes, that's absolutely right. This is a modest proposal, and his fans took it seriously. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe.
Another depicts a leaning tower wrapped in a dramatic helix. The caption beneath it reads, "The Tower of History."
I think the guy just liked doodling and made a bit of a joke. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. The economy is supported by the acceptance of its value. But what I'm saying is that I could definitely see somebody who was being intellectual about it having a thought experiment where they suggested that we build towers based solely on faith because it's the same principle that keeps the economy going. Yeah, the issue is that the faith keeps the system existing, it doesn't make the system work. Like, that's why I think it's a rhetoric device rather than him being serious.
Something about that tower looks awfully familiar. Could it be that's what the students were trying to recreate with the matchboxes?
Okay, what if people stop believing the building collapse?
In the corner of one of the reproduced notebook pages, you can make out the following words, written in Nielsen's distinctive slashing script. A state that has lost the faith of its people has forfeited the right to exist.
I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. It's very sci-fi, but go for it.
There is no more. You've reached the outer theoretical limits of communism, and in less than 200 pages. If you'd like to read further, may we recommend a brief look at Occidental architecture?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. I really hope that they thought this kind of fucks with the whole idea of their deal.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again. Of course, dear. Is there? I'm glad you like them. But I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. Oh, yes.
It's a pseudo.
That's,
She's used to playing off such...
My apology.
it's not a... Searching for...
She's completely internalized.
What about you?
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new okay. I already did my by all means.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Sadly not. Like, to be fair, it would be pretty out there to have Morel be like, yeah, I can absolutely see this, considering he's a little bit of a racist. Who are you? Have you been here before?
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man?
Oh no.
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
Holy shit.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is. Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
I mean, surely he wasn't really that bad.
I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around.
Oh.
He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
You at my funeral. Thanks, Kale.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Yeah, honestly, sincere condolences.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone.
Despite their differences, these men played such a significant part in each other's lives that now that one of them is gone, the other feels just lost.
I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
I was going to ask you about the flowers, apparently.
René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies.
That's what this is?
That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communards. They called them the Bells of Revolution.
Ah, white flower.
I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore. Yes,
Yes,
it is what it...
Despite their differences, these men played such a
I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But
No. Damn. Twice a widow. Yeah, pretty much. I'm just going to check his... it is really tragic. Like, it's... Oh, that's going to be another thing, is it? I wonder if we can check his booth. We're having such a bad day for meeting bereaved people. I mean, I think it's more the bereaved people who are having a bad day. I think we're having a very good day for meeting bereaved people. It's just whether we want to or not. We're actually handling it well.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. Then take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Everard ever cared. Like, Everard was the one who had René doing this job. +1 to Revacholian nationhood. Like, don't get me wrong, Everard is absolutely awful twat, but I don't think he actually, like, I think he has, like, a few people who he knows by name, who he can say, you know, oh, there's that person. False affectation is being a person over Everard's whole thing. It's true. Van Eyck Overdrive. There are certain items I wear that unlock new thoughts. Yeah, I figure so, but I don't care about the the thoughts that I'm being given, if that makes sense.
Oh, sorry.
Host almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Everard's very much your rights and prosperity are my gifts. Yeah, it's true.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bed.
We can sit on benches.
Wait, am I not allowed to sit down? Inland Empire, shut the fuck up. Yeah, absolutely. Right, I guess we're gonna have to buy every goddamn book. You know what? Let's have a look at... You know what? Kim recommended the book, so why not...
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyamdall. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal. Rows and rows of Hyamdall men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyamdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyamdall, Return to Hyamdall. And the solipsistic Man from Hyamdall and the Hyamdall Man.
You need to get some Colin and Pulps.
Maybe 100. Man from Hyamdall and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyamdall and the false god. Man from Hyamdall and the scorched earth. Man from Hyamdall, the Hyamdall colonies. Man from Hyamdall and the swamp beast. Man from Hyamdall and the snow crabs.
How far have you gone with this?
Not even close.
Oh my god.
Man from Hyamdall in hell. Man from Hyamdall and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyamdall under the lake. Man from Hyamdall, Hyamdall burning. There's even the Trial of Death, a Pastanal combat gamebook set in the world of Hyamdallaman, and so much more.
Go for it.
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
What is it?
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
I mean, definitely, you know, interested. Tell me more.
She's laughing at him, belittling him.
Yes, that's the point, and we're here for it.
Between the throne and the Hyamdallaman lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjelmdal and the Devil Woman. The
Interesting.
display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal novels.
I will absolutely buy Man from Kjeldal and the Devil Woman.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Okay, we're also... I think I bought everything else I can buy. Except. You're thinking about how that voice actor looks exactly like you'd expect? Yeah.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
I mean, if we're assuming these are the same as, like, Pulp Fiction written in the real world, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Ravager, Conan the Freebooter, Conan the Defender, Conan the Destroyer, Conan the Usurper, Conan the Warrior, Conan the Buccaneer. My word, he was prolific. If I had that many jobs on my resume, mate, nobody would hire me. This woman saw one episode of SVU and thinks she knows how to be a cop. Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, that is actually, and that's the point. That's the point. Like, the whole thing with, like, SVU and other cop shows is, like, it's designed to portray the cops in a very specific, positive way. Propaganda, yeah, exactly.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers.
Game calling itself out there.
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends.
This is absolutely just the game calling itself out.
Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure.
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen.
I really want to see the porn parodies of the Dick Mullen series. This game is very aware of itself and is super on the nose about what a fucking mess cops are. Absolutely.
A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick.
That is the porn parody.
Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen.
I mean, it sounds like he dies at least twice.
Oh, turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Okay.
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns.
The more this goes on, the more it feels like something from like macabre, like what the macabre mystery shows from in universe in Blake Sky.
Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Yeah, chilling suspense as hosted by Chester Legree. Absolutely. Can I put... Let me try some reaction speed stuff. Reaction speed is currently -1. Chester Legree has undoubtedly extolled the virtues of Dick Mullen. I don't know. I think Chester was increasingly frustrated until he was paid by the publisher to talk it up on the show. Oh, look at those. What's taking out my reaction speed? That's reaction speed +2. Oh, is it? Oh, it's those pants specifically.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels
Go for
featuring your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach.
Oh well, that was a thing. Right, Hjelmdal. At no point during your read of Get Me Mullen did you ever believe gets an envelope. At no point during my read of Get Me Mullen did I ever believe, gets an envelope of cash, that I could put it down. Like, I don't realize Chester Legree's accent is super hard because it's a very incorrect American. It's like RP but for Americans.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Hjelmdal man. The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Hjelmdal returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyribald. Before Man from Hjelmdal can mount a rescue."
Transatlantic action, people pretending to have old world class. Yeah, that is pretty much my vibe for American PR. It's an accent people affect as opposed to actually grow up with.
He is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Hjelmdal be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend? You open the book to a random page. Man from Hjelmdal, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination.
Right. Even if I didn't know swords, I'd just like to observe the phrase Zweihander. From the German Zwei, meaning two, and Hand, meaning hand. That is not how Zweihanders work. Also, if we're specifically talking about Zweihanders, those are the ones that are basically replacements for polearms. They're the size of a man. Zweihanders are, I'm pretty sure, specifically the ones you see mercenaries from Italy in the 14th century using. Yeah, I've just looked up an image of a Zweihander, and they are the height of a man. You would not, that is anime levels of wielding a single sword. It is anime rules, yes, absolutely.
His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written? You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 1938.
Wait, this was 12 years? Oh my God.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Hjelmdala tribe. From the village of Hjelmdal, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Okay, so he is an ivory giant with azure-hued eyes. Definitely. So likely Aryan, would you say?
Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Yeah, so he's a blue-eyed, blonde-haired white guy. Yeah, I like. This is. There's a Man from Heimdall poster in Gary's apartment. Yeah, that does tell me a hell of a lot.
The steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home.
Yeah, I'm
The
done.
edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool. I still have an hour to kill, so I have 2 other books. Screw it. I bought this one by accident when I was trying to read about the gay racing car drivers. 10 o'clock. It's currently 10 to 9. If only I could use my actual computer's time. Am I thinking any thoughts right now? No, I don't have any unlocked thoughts. That's a shame. Screw it. Might as well have a shifty.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Am I thinking any thoughts right now? No. Kale, all the time.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain.
What did I do to deserve this treatment? You were the one who was saying you were going to call me a cunt at my funeral, so let's start there.
You can do it. It'll be worth it. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes.
Sure.
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
Okay, go on, give me all the hints.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila. Now blast that first innocence. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dolores Day. Dolores.
It's not Dolores Day. Yeah, maybe the Pericarnassian?
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
Right.
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Okay, try again. Sure, I trust you got my back.
An innocence is the highest category of historical person in the world. A literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general. At least, the parts that matter.
Okay, I thought you gave the answer to the question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
No.
Damn. Dolores.
Not Dolores Day. Like, physically strongest? How are we defining this?
Correct. Named the innocence of militarism.
Okay.
Codified
I just
irritatory
remembered
rule,
the
but at
crazy
same time,
the
ended
drugged
serfdom
out woman
and
saying
established
Franco
the
Negro was
inter-Isolani
like
real
super
as the
manly.
global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie
One
by
second.
building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue.
Thank you for your patience. Sorry about that. Just had to quickly sort something out. This is the issue, just an issue with not having a permanent wire. Oh, everything's fine. Basically, my partner came back in, and the way our flat is laid out, the router that my computer is plugged into for the internet, is right by the front door. And so it like stretches across the front door. She's coming in. She's coming in a bit later, so I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to trip over the wire. Nothing major. All fine. Let's get yeah, so he's got a skill point. Nice. I can think a thought. Cool.
Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
Okay, are you gonna be helpful?
Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacium. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members.
Sigh heavily, out loud.
There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Loris Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
Pasternak. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go for Pasternak.
Correct.
Oh,
There
the
have been a number of counter or false innocences. Some assumed to have innocentic qualities. Some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen.
I'm getting Dalai Lama vibes. Or like, this will be the future of the Dalai Lama.
The most famous and important of these was Ernest Pasternak.
I mean, Pope
He
fights as
was
well,
into
yes.
Torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I've got it, honest.
Okay, sure.
Of course, this is my thing, the reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro.
You're absolutely certain. Wait, what, you actually...
Zero doubts, while it was actually her. Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mesk, consider him a father figure, due to his militarism and nationalism, João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps? Oh yes, militarism and nationalism. My bad.
Why would he object to that? He's a fascist.
Yes, obviously.
Okay, fine. Dolores Day.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful, and more beautiful, and more beautiful.
Pain threshold, you good?
Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a B. Good enough. Everyone misses a few from time to time. You would have done better if you just dialed the Dolores Day down a bit.
Huh? Take what?
I put this book in its place, that's what.
Uh-huh.
You are really just talking to yourself. It is quite silly.
Okay, I need to talk to somebody for like 5 minutes. Hi.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I could, but apparently, I'm pretty sure that it is not, that will take less time than you think. It is entirely possible for me to run to the boardwalk without time ticking over.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
I dislike you greatly.
This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather, mysterious and harsh.
She can, if she has enough willpower.
Ugh.
This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there.
You're a fucking monster.
There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
My husband is completely different, of course.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Wait, what?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And he's also involved with the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Oh, great.
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
We're
Why
quite
not?
busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She's been too busy, helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I, of all people, understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
I don't think that the husband ran off. I suspect, based on what she's saying, that he just kind of like had her do this as like a hobby project type thing.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. Yes, the Simonese are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful.
The woman looks aloof.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I think she's still like not a particularly. You kind of wonder if he has a side piece. I feel like if that was the case, the game would be more explicit. Like, there are definitely like subtle things. Like I don't necessarily know that there's like that idiot Doom Spiral owned that apartment or was involved in the other stuff we had, but yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. They would be a little bit less subtle about it. Really, how he lives on the other side of the river and is very successful, yet hasn't brought them to live with him. It is, but also, like, he might just be a bit of an absentee father. Wait, I can come up here? Sounds like he sucks? Yeah, it definitely does. Right, do we think that the pigs is going to be here? That was a grammatically correct sentence, I promise. Oh, no, no, no. Keep walking. Wait, hang on. I feel like... talking... I'm worried that this is going to... that will allow me... That will end up with me going down into encountering the person in the building. Okay, think there's somebody here this time. Yeah. On a bunch of reaction speeds. Esprit de corps? Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the case, actually. I was just thinking, like, hand-eye might be a good idea, but... Yeah, I think, Esprit de corps is probably the way to go. Maybe shivers as well. Oh, yeah, that's a look.
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mounting of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you, reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, Battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand.
Well, this is not ideal.
Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Oh no.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
If there was no gun, distinctly, Egg would be yelling about how hardcore. Absolutely.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror.
Holy shit.
Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Okay, hand-eye coordination.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. Have the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect alert. Get on the ground.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key. Big red key.
Just occurred to me. Do we know the gun was loaded?
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. What happened to make her like this? Yes, sure, but also in a less abstract way. The neurodegenerative disease I mentioned earlier.
You keep threatening to shoot yourself? True, but like I'm more thinking about Roy being a pretty decent human being.
The woman looks at you, but through you, like you don't exist. Her eyes gleam feverishly, and the rotating police beacon lights reveal deep scratch marks on her cheeks.
Roy is constantly on drugs and has PTSD. Fair.
Recent, self-inflicted.
This is the police. Unlawful engagement. Hands on the ground. Scumbag.
So this is what the weather's like on the other end of a cop's gun.
Fascinating. See? This is what happens when we are not around.
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed.
Oh, is this actually a useful thing?
No. Oh, no. No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault. Man down. Officers in pursuit.
Oh, it went bad.
What's the situation, officer?
Oh. Oh, this apparently is working.
Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer.
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
License and registration. License and registration. Come in, dispatch. Sector. Sector. Azimuth.
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood.
We can't leave.
Oh.
The area civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Right. Okay. Kim.
She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights. Sure, you're you, but how do we end this? She's not just gonna let you leave.
Confirmed quarters, assailant coming at me! Split-second decision! Oh, well.
For a moment there,
I was 80% sure the gun is empty, and still the instinct almost took over.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated.
Jesus.
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
I feel like this is not the answer.
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone.
I mean, she's potentially a threat to herself. Jeez.
We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
That actually sounds like a really good idea.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Guys, if you can be that guy for the community, you gotta be the guy for your community. Yeah, absolutely. Also, hey, we're a Wolf Warrior. You chose a moment to arrive, buddy.
She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
We just got our gun back.
She looks catatonic and is one of those things a police cap. There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. The lieutenant nods. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as evidence, obviously.
You're taking those, are you?
Listen to him, for once.
Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the case.
Very reasonable. Kim?
He's grateful you did this.
Oh yeah, I can unlock a thought. What's harming my... This is suggestion? Oh, that's actually pretty good. Anything I want to get rid of? None of these are terrible. This is kind of rubbish. But I kind of like being this. Let me see. White Morning. Cost a point to forget? No, I'm aware. I have a point right now, so I'm just deciding if I actually want to have anything. Insulin Miracle. I don't know. Wasteland of Reality. Okay, I can potentially cure myself of Oh, I could actually decide. Oh, I could learn when I'm You know what? Sure, let's internalize and work out what the fuck my age is. Terrifying. Right, cool. We're going to go to Titus, and then we are going to chat with the communists. This has been Harry's very sad, no good day. I know, right? You know what? Like, maybe Titus will appreciate that we're bringing this to him. Oh, good, you're here.
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want? What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
I mean, yes. You want to be for the community.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. Even getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig?
You know what? We're just gonna walk away from this.
Well, whatever then, Copper.
No. They totally said what it was. What was it?
Shut up, Eugene.
Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with? Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? Yeah, you should be.
Whatever, Cobb. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of our own. Get wanted to be a cop, you mean?
No fucking clue. Yeah.
Whatever, Cobb. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
The guy who locked himself in the shed, the whole thing the washerwoman told us about? I'm not following. I think you may... you've gone too fast in the thought process there.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Cool, I'm happy for you to be so. Right, communists. The washerwoman told us about a cop who went off the edge, shot his partner, and... Oh, good point.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it could have been, or it could have just been the source of some of the equipment. Well, we gotta get the small child off the streets before it started raining. That's something, at least. Gonna change some stuff. Yeah, I probably do want some rhetoric going on. Yeah, that's a fine stat line. Oh no, I probably want a bit more logic. Logic. Oh, that'll do. Time to go be insufferable? I mean, I'm just gonna tell them they're fucking wrong. Like, I hope this allows me... I hope this allows me to tell them they're just absolute, like, I understand the turnip guy's point. You're wheeling the Warty Dumpty Dom center skill is going to be clutch on account of encyclopedia texts. Possibly. We can but hope. Is Kim going to come in with us? Yep. Okay then.
You're back. Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
I didn't let me go to bed. That's true.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio. Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
I thought interesting was what people said when they don't have anything real to add.
His companion's eyes widen with interest. He has a cold smile.
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it.
Okay, say that then.
You flustered the poor boy. Now he's got to say something.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions. The deal, at a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Oh, God.
Yes, now keep developing the idea.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
The deal?
Okay,
That's good.
Thanks,
yes. What is this place?
It's an old construction site.
Okay.
They've been trying to restore these apartments for years. But as you can see, they haven't made much progress.
His friend yawns, evidently bored by literal reality.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk
Let's get right
inframaterialism.
His companion leans forward, ready to jump in. They're impressed that you dove right into the most advanced parts of the theory. Half an hour evaporates, and the conversation is still wending its way toward new and unexpected places. A cool breeze coming off the bay wraps itself around the Capeside apartments, in a nearly forgotten part of that glorified construction site, surrounded by rusted pieces of scaffolding and walls of faded tarpaulin. A detective of the RCM debates the intricacies of an abstruse theory with a pair of university students.
No. You're saying he doesn't need to open them because he absorbs all the relevant content just by staring intently at the cover. It's a widely understood second-level effect.
Really?
We've tried it ourselves, but thus far we haven't been able to absorb more than
You
the
in
preface
university,
and table
yeah.
of contents.
You just gotta have to be near the books.
Now the breeze has subsided. All is still except for the last bits of steam rising from the coffee pot.
Well, on that note, I think we can call it an evening.
No, wait. Can this really be the end? You feel like you've just gotten to the real stuff.
Yes. One of our better discussions lately, on the whole.
What do you mean, is that it? You've done the reading, we talked about it. What more do you expect from a reading group?
What if I have more questions about communism?
Well, you could always ask, I guess.
We probably won't get a better chance. Honestly.
But it's getting late, so maybe pick the most important question.
Rhetoric. I was right. I did need rhetoric.
Come on. We have things to do in the morning.
He says he doesn't have any...
Are you absolutely sure?
Oh,
a
no.
communist can't be afraid to ask questions, just because they don't know what the answer might be.
In other words, you'll forfeit their respect if you back out now.
Fuck.
Detective, how should I know what questions you have about communism?
Okay, fine. Ask the most important question about communism.
Alright, here we go. We're devoting all your available brain cells to coming up with a question about communism.
Oh, God!
Scratch that. To coming up with the question about communism. The alpha and omega of communism questions. And that question is...
Surely something else.
Maybe in another life, but not this one. Face it, this is the question that's been simmering inside you all along.
I hate everything.
No. This was supposed to take your mind off the other thing.
Hang on, I thought I was really getting into the theory back there.
Sure. You spent some time getting lost in your theoretical labyrinths, but this has been the beast at the center this whole time.
Fine.
The young man gives you a slightly confused look, as though he's sure you asked something else and he simply misheard. No, he heard you crystal clear. Somehow, it sounded even worse out loud.
Oh, this is the cringiest thing.
You only said what everyone else was thinking.
No!
Look around. Do you see any women here?
He wants to know if women are bourgeois, Esteban.
Jeez.
Yes, I heard him. Give me a moment. What makes you ask that question above any other?
Really regretting Kim being with us. I don't know, it's just what my brain told me to say.
That's because your brain is floating in ideology, gendarme. He's practically drowning in it. You ask that question because you're still under the influence of ideology. That's natural. You're like a fish that's only now discovering that her whole life has been dictated by the movements of sea currents. That's what ideology is. It's like there are these invisible forces everywhere, pushing and tugging you this way and that, and you don't even know they're there. Of course it's possible. Just extremely difficult. You practically have to be a world historical individual to do it. Do you know the story of Dobrova and Abadanais? The so-called revolutionary lovers. The dual commissars of revolution in Insulinda.
Okay.
Yulia Dobrova came from Grad. Jean Abadanaïs was born in Revachol. She was brilliant, charismatic, a revolutionary comet. He was her partner and stabilizer, the planet who kept her in orbit.
What became of them, though? There seems to be a blank paragraph in the history books.
It's from them we get the notion of dual leadership, the Decomtage, Revachol's truly great contribution to revolutionary thought. I believe it even persists in some form in the RCM, even to this day. They died on their own terms, like real revolutionaries. There's a lot to say for that.
I had no idea its origins went all the way back to the revolution itself, but it makes sense in a way.
There's more to it than that. People still make their own choices. It's a matter of being aware of what's influencing them. Yes, that's the question you should be asking yourself.
His companion nods, but offers no further solace.
Okay.
The young man nods, but says nothing. He appears to be distracted by something. He's wrestling with some question of his own.
Oh?
He's lost in his own thoughts. You wonder what silt you've stirred in the bottom of his soul. Of course, the matchboxes. You'd very nearly forgotten to ask about them.
Ah.
Maybe your last chance.
So you really did read all the way to the end. Yeah, Uli and I were trying to see whether there was enough plasm between the two of us to hold up a few matchboxes.
Saying it out loud makes him realize how foolish it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a little informal experiment. No reason to take it too seriously.
Gordon is holding your wrist hostage. Adorable. You know what? I'm gonna... This sounds fun.
The young man looks at you a moment, then at his companion.
What could it hurt? All right, let's give it another go.
You know what? It's an opportunity
You know
to
what?
bond.
I'll sit this one out. I don't think you want my skeptical materialism interfering.
That's fair, Kim.
Before long, a modest tower begins to rise from the pile of matchboxes. You place every box with the utmost delicacy and precision.
Easy, Uli.
It's holding. It's holding.
For the moment. The higher the tower goes, the quieter the room seems to become. Aside from the occasional comment, the three of you are completely absorbed by the task.
All right, you go next, Stepan.
The young man pushes back his shirt sleeves, revealing the pale flesh of his forearms.
Is it? It's holding. It's holding.
Yes, this is the closest we've ever gotten.
It's almost exactly as Nielsen's sketch imagined, a physical manifestation of the dialectical spiral of history.
Wait, is this working?
All right, gendarme. Your turn.
Oh, God.
You've got this. Theories aside, they're only matchboxes. Even the lieutenant is watching intently now.
It's... My God. Is he really holding?
Oh.
It is. It is.
There, in the middle of the floor, the winding spire quivers with an improbable energy.
This is impossible, right? There's no way it's really staying up like that.
But it is. It is.
Holy shit, this is actually fascinating.
For a long moment, no one says a word. Even the lieutenant is transfixed.
Kim, join communism.
A low-pressure system is gathering itself over the bay. It's begun to tug violently at the tarpaulins.
And there it goes. No, it was exactly what's supposed to happen. We should treat it that way.
We should probably clean up.
Well, I think we're probably finished here, Detective.
Kim, you should
Wait a
use your
minute,
other camera,
if you don't mind.
camera ampoule.
We wanted to get your opinion on something. A few little changes we've been thinking about.
Oh?
Nothing too major, I think. We were talking potentially about relaxing some parts of our admissions process.
That's interesting. I thought people loved group interviews.
I thought so too, but perhaps we overdid it, just a little. There was another thing. We were also debating putting up some posters around town.
Though some of us maintain that advertising is an unacceptably bourgeois tactic.
I mean, you know, Master's house won't be dismantled by the Master's tools, but at the same time, you gotta get the word out.
That's what makes it so beautiful. The irony is unbeatable. As a noted art cop, you definitely have an opinion on this.
Oh, I like that. We're dismantling the structures of capital with our own tools.
See previous statement, but sure.
It does sound pretty cool when you describe it like that.
Plus, I've got the perfect place in mind. Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of us. We should probably get Cindy in here too. Oh, and Gendarme. One last thing. I've been thinking about what you asked before. About women, you know?
Cringe.
Not that it's any of my business. But it sounds like this question is really tearing you up inside.
It is tearing you up. It's like there's a tiny, hateful beast shredding your very soul.
So, good luck with that, I guess.
Okay, sure. I'm leaving now. I'm... You know what? Sure. I want to know what's behind that goddamn door. Okay, that is not the phrase you want me to leave on. The communards definitely should not have committed atrocities. Oh, I have more skill points. Okay, oh, do I not? Wait, what? Why? Okay, you're just lying to me, sure.
Hello again, officers.
Bye. Okay, Kim, I'm gonna go to my shack. You are gonna inexplicably come with me and then walk all the way back here to get to the Whirling Rags around 1 in the morning.
It's getting cold, this late in the night.
Good night, officer.
Oh, wait. There's one other thing. Please be awake. Okay. Where is she? Good question. I'm technically helping. I don't know, honestly. Oh, my door's now locked, which is fair enough. Okay, well, I tried. No, I mean, that's fair. I've got it, but I don't need to pay for the room, let's be perfectly honest. No, I need the map. Into the book, into the bush, into the shack.
It's getting cold.
Yep.
This late in
Enter the
night.
shack. Oh no, go into the shack. Go
It's
in the damn
getting
shack.
cold.
Let's see what horrors plague our night this time.
Still, the place feels almost like home now. Quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso
And she's
feel like
calling a cab.
red
Nice.
waves sinking to the bottom of the sea until there's suddenly light.
This respite, you've earned it, brother. Bask in the darkness. Let it swallow you up and swivel you around while you forget everything you've managed to remember. No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you if you don't mind. As long as we can. Spin it like black yarn.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Thank you, darkness. Darkness.
You're welcome, Harry boy. You earned it.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You actually feel rested. There's no time to cuddle with your pillow, however, or as much as shiver from the cold. The world awaits.
Yeah, I guess the drugs... It may well be that the drugs have left our system. You may have a point there. Good morning, Lieutenant. Right. I need to pass for like 42 minutes. I've got one more book. Okay.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
Oh god, this is literally Tolstoy.
Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. In cold, detached prose, The author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows.
Sounds like when insert sports name or sports team here plays. Zing.
The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such
That sounds
periods,
familiar.
it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft. She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
This is terrible.
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret.
Sounds like Russian literature. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm taking from it. Anyway. We had a breakthrough.
One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
All psych white checks unlocked. Okay, cool, interesting. Do I have any of those kicking about? Oh, okay. Do have that one. Ooh, got that one as well. Okay, let's... Also, I could ask this woman on a date. Okay, let's try this. Let us try this. We have some volition. We can volite. Volite? I don't know what the word is. Do we have volition? Clothes. Looking for volition. Authority in the cap. I'm sure I have at least one thing that gives me volition. Oh, I do. Sure, why not?
An old call box with a East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. No, hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something else to do.
I tried. What's the other guy? Esprit de corps. Might be able to get some of that. The thing is, with like, you can only wear a little bit of your cop uniform at a time because they're all just jackets. It's just different types of esprit de corps. You have super high volition and yeah, I mean, tell me, because why not? But it's not the biggest deal. Like, you know, I can possibly put some stuff into it. Let's try. What's your deal?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
He might be wearing a disguise. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
No, seriously, which one am I part of? It's because I'm 40 I'm 41st, thank you.
Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Okay.
Oh, the hypothetical 4-1. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. I'm not busy, you're not busy, let's just play around.
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered, but Kim is not part of this thought experiment. In this one, we're partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
None taken, my friend. None taken. Let's be honest. There's been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who'd even be worthy of your partnership. And the conclusion is that a man with your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down. Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers.
Why did I think you would be helpful?
Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on.
Hey, it's been like a week since I did that.
Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man.
He kind of pitied
Okay,
you?
yes, you get the joke.
Neither can I, partner.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though.
No. 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one.
A cover-up, while the author of the cover-up is the perp? Makes sense. You don't have a motive? Then the double cover-up seems too neat. I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. You want...
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
Super weird.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still, yes, just cross it off the list.
Again? I can't believe... I'm going to say no, just to see what you'll say to that. Okay?
Jean.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind, not a cop. Go on with your cop work.
Yes? What is it?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
It means I'm a patrol officer, sir. Okay.
What? No. No, 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 no. There are universal standards of good out there, and that was just complete shit.
Yeah, I'd kind of picked up this guy was our partner.
Jean, he's not right. Treat him like you treat McCoy's little brother.
Lieutenant W. Freighter, John Archetype McCoy's younger brother, Lance McCoy, although a man of 32 years, will mentally never surpass a 6-year-old. No idea. Just passing on information stored in your fractured neural cortex.
And I'm not going to pretend like he's got a learning disability. Yes, and I'm wondering why. Don't you?
Yes? Did you want something from me?
Okay, fine. You know what I just realized I can buy? I have officially got 50 real. Which means I can buy the, as far as I'm aware, one of the last things I'm aware of. Kicks, yeah.
The speakers below are...
Yes.
Cool.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an...
The junk is yours, officer.
I think I can also buy some, like, a...
Coming back.
Oh yeah, a shitty pair of itchy pants. Cool. There's some shitty sunglasses as well, but I don't care about those. I have got the kicks. What do these actually do? Where'd they go? Reaction speed, hand-eye coordination. Nice. Well, I'm tooled up for reaction speed. What else was there that I could do? Sorry, I'm just quickly, net. You know what? Could you use just during the alteration with the pigs? Yeah. Suggestion. How much suggestion do I have? Currently a -1, so off to a fantastic start. I'm going to just tick off the last thing on that particular list. If I can. Think about how much money and XP I've gotten. Yeah, it's been great. I've had it's been an absolute delight. No, I have no... Okay, so the only thing I can do is actively improve... Okay, change my shirt. Go back to drama. Being insufferable works, as it turns out. It's true. It's a stupid idea, but I'm gonna try it.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Kim, come on!
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer.
Horrendous.
Anyway, what did you want?
Horrendous.
She doesn't even understand you asked her out.
Well, I tried. Into the sea. I mean, you know, hopefully we'll just get a shot at some point. Anyway, let's finish up by actually trying to find... You know what? I want to be empathetic. Where's my empathy gear? I feel like my empathy gear is going to do me a lot more work. Like, this is empathy. Yeah, this is empathy. And then these are empathy. Probably do want some reaction speed, I'll be perfectly honest. This is Emblem's Empire. Okay. Then drama. Don't need this hat. This is logic, -1 suggestion. Maybe some reaction speed might be an idea. These my empathy glasses? Yes, they are. Okay, you know what? Let's put a... It's a look.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
Water level, yeah, true. Wait, hang on.
You see, a once bright a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they
Please
used to
go
be.
home. You've been here for days. Your child looks tired and exhausted.
There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Interesting. Found the empty trap, reconstructed execution, confronted, established the nightclub, discover the okay, sure.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen did not, and now you're just standing there in the pale of the morning, with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before?
Yes.
Is it in your secret repertoire?
Apparently.
A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least.
Okay, cool.
And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too.
That's true.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, displays. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Okay, I mean, apparently you're saying listen to the wind again.
Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it, in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay, why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe.
Fair.
Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Okay, hang on. There is actually a storm drain. You mentioned storm drain. And there is a thing here. Yep, here we go.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the felled building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. A thin layer of snow gleams inside the pipe.
Useful, thank you.
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
Okay, the point...
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe.
Hey, Daisy, how you doing? Are you here just to tap your watch at me?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
He means the pipe must be coming from somewhere in the building.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
Oh, well done.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one.
Broke into communist... Okay, what does that work? Okay, hang on. We're going to leave for a second. Physical instrument we can definitely do. There's that. There's +1 to physical instruments. It is that time indeed, yes. We have a gun and the old soldier who's playing bulls is dead. It's true. It was, yeah, kind of really shocking. Do I have anything else for physical instruments? I apparently do. Oh, this is the same thing. Okay. Then you know what we can get in our hand? Fucking buster tool.
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand.
Have we seen Joyce again? Yes, Joyce revealed that she was in fact a board member the entire time and has agreed to cede the port to the Union.
The metal doors are heavy and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
And with that, with a new area, I think this is the time to finish up. It is 9:01 on the last day. I do not know how this is going to end. I'm just going to find somebody to run off and raid. Let me see who is streaming, who I follow, and who is also live. Let me just see who's around. Yeah, you know what? I don't often get a chance to raid Dandy. She tends to stream later, but Dandy's really cool. I like Dandy. She's a lot of fun. So we're going to go run over to see her. She's currently playing Dark Souls, which, you know what? I have a degree of sympathy. She has been going for a while, but she may just go later anyway. So we will see Dandy Floss. I really hope she's not about to finish. She doesn't look like she is. But yeah. Anyway, this has been an absolute delight. I definitely feel like sometime next week we are going to come to the end of Disco Elysium. I already have some ideas as to what I will be playing next. But let us enjoy the remainder of this story, because this is absolutely fascinating to play through, and I really appreciate. Sorry, my eyes just rested on the MILFs of the universe thing lives rent free in your head. Daisy, you may have to explain that to me. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming for you. And until next time, I've been Loxley, Sailor of Strategy, the Caprian Card Shark, the board game goat. Please do give my best to Dandy Floss. And until next time, ta-ra.